Welcome, everybody, to our new podcast, 2030 Vision, AI and the Future of Law. We're really excited to convene a conversation between the two of us on a regular basis to talk all about how we perceive the future of law to be impacted by AI as it unfolds in real time. I'm Jen Leonard, and I'm so thrilled to be joined by the Honorable Bridget McCormack. And maybe we could kick off by just sharing a little bit about our backgrounds and why we're so interested in this topic. And Bridget, maybe I could toss it to you to kick us off.
Absolutely. It's great to be here. I'm really excited to be able to have yet another excuse to talk to you about my favorite topic and with my favorite thought partner on this topic. There is so much going on in AI generally and in the legal profession in particular that tying it all together has been something I spend so much time thinking about, and you've been the person that I've been relied on the most to help me think through some of it. So it'll be fun to do that kind of out loud in front of people. I'm excited to be here. I've had a number of chapters in my career. Right now, I'm the CEO and president at the American Arbitration Association, which is the largest provider of ADR services in the world, and we administered over 500,000 cases last year in outside of courts. Before I started that job, only about 15 months ago, I was the Chief Justice of the Michigan Supreme Court. I served on the court for 10 years and was the chief throughout COVID, which was interesting, gave me an opportunity to really innovate and figure out new ways to provide dispute resolution services in a public dispute resolution system. Before that, I spent a decade and a half teaching at the University of Michigan Law School. Also a fun chapter in my career. And before that, 2 years at Yale Law School. My very first job was a public defender in New York City. So I was a real lawyer doing real things for 5 years. But it feels like I've had my hand in lots of different parts of the legal profession. And I know you have as well. Tell folks about your background.
Yeah, sure. I'm really excited to talk to you too, mainly because I am driving my neighbors batty, continuing to talk about generative AI, and they really want me to talk to somebody else about it. And I love talking to you about it because I just find it to be the most fascinating topic maybe that I've ever encountered in my life. And just to give you a little bit of my background, you and I met working together and teaching together at Penn, working on issues focused on innovation and the future of the legal profession. I recently left to launch my own company focused on teaching creativity and innovation across the profession so that we can really harness these emerging technologies and other dynamics to do things differently in law. I spent the 10 years before that working in legal education, first in law student professional development, trying to prepare new lawyers for the practice of law and teaching them all the things that I never learned really formally, how to build relationships, how to grow teams, how to report up to other people, how to lead, and how to infuse technology in everything that they do. And before that, I practiced for 10 years, first in a law firm as a litigation associate, and then as chief of staff to the City of Philadelphia Law Department, which is an incredible place to work. My husband, whom I met there, refers to it as being an emergency room lawyer. You never knew what was coming through the door. You built skills incredibly quickly, and it was a ton of fun, and I really enjoyed that job. And my first job out of law school was clerking for our state Supreme Court here in Pennsylvania. So I think we've had some overlap in some of our experiences and then different things that we've done, but both of us share a passion for doing things better in the future. And so why are you excited, Bridget, to sort of have this conversation, to add yet another thing to your crowded plate of obligations and activities to talk about generative AI?
Yeah. First of all, I apologize for leaving out my Penn chapter. That was, I didn't mean to do that because in some ways that was my most important chapter, even though it was a very part-time part of my employment. But it's where I met you or where I got to work with you first. And so that was great. The Future of the Profession Initiative was a pretty awesome collaboration, I think, with some big goals about some of the things I think I am most excited about this new technology and connecting it to the business of law, the practice of law, the formation of lawyers, and access to justice. Some of what I have viewed as the biggest problems in the legal profession, in the way it serves our neighbors, our communities, to me feel like they could be really impacted positively by this new technology. I also think that lawyers are risk adverse by training, and that's a good thing for lots of reasons. And so they have been slow to adopt the technology. In most legal rooms that I'm in, you hear a lot about the risks and the concerns about the technology. And of course, it's important to be aware of those and be thinking about those. But I think it takes lawyers a little longer to jump in and see what all of the benefits are. And so I'm excited to just have this conversation to ignite more conversations like it. And hopefully, therefore, bring about lots of important change in the legal profession, a profession that I've spent my whole career focused on. And you and I have been doing this in class, so we can scale that, and I'll let you talk a little bit about that. But why are you excited about this new venture we're embarking on?
Yeah, well, as you mentioned, we had the chance to teach a class on generative technology, really the first year that generative technology emerged. It was the most fun class I've ever taught because it was a completely blank slate and we had no appellate case law, no law review articles to read. So we were listening to podcasts, having online conversations with our students in real time who were really, really curious and creative and also critical, and helping us think through the risks and the opportunities. And it was such a great experience. And we were only able to talk to 20 people at a time once a week. And when I talk with lawyers and legal professionals generally, one of the things I think that they're struggling with is that they keep saying, I feel so far behind. I feel like I can't catch up or keep pace with what's happening. And I always remind people that this current version of the technology is really only a little over a year old. So while it's understandable there's so much conversation and you feel left behind, nobody's really behind unless they're refusing to participate at all. But lawyers are also super busy, as is everybody. And so I think it's hard for them to figure out how to fit in some ongoing education and awareness of the changes. And I thought it would be really helpful maybe for others to have access to an ongoing conversation in the legal domain about what the implications are for legal. You and I follow several thought leaders who are in the broader tech landscape, but I don't think that those conversations, which I find enormously helpful in staying current, reach the legal profession always. And so the combination of our risk aversion and then not really being privy to the conversations about what's changing create an opportunity, I think, to advance that conversation and make sure we are staying current. And also, I just selfishly love to process this stuff with you, and we do that frequently. And so we figured, why not press record? And hopefully this could be useful to other people as we go in the profession.